Hello, my name is Zhu Liren and I'm from China. I am making this video to present my serious interest in applying for the Orange Tulip scholarships. And in this video, I'm going to make a presentation to tell who I am, what qualification that I have, why I apply for the OTS, and how I am planning to use the scholarship. So let's get started. First of all, I would like to introduce myself better. People usually call me Zhu Liren. This is my Western name, but actually my true name in Chinese is Zhu Liren. It comes from a maxim by the Confucius with the meaning that if one person wants to be great and successful, he must first be able to help the other to do so. Maybe you think this is irrelevant to my application, but actually after this presentation, I hope you can realize this is very important. Now I am MBA's candidate at the Amsterdam Business School for year 2020 and to 2021. I am originally from Guangzhou, China, but now I am in Amsterdam. Why I'm in Amsterdam? Actually, there's a story behind, and it's related to their application, but I will tell you later. In order to let you know me better, I choose 3 keywords to describe my personality and my qualifications. The first keyword is international. I choose this word because first I have my educational backgrounds internationally. I graduated from Sun Yat-sen University in China, and during my study in the university, I was nominated by the US government to become a Fulbright scholar and have a study trip in the US. After I graduated, I also had a chance to study Portuguese and an MBA course in Brazil. And now I am starting my journey in Europe to study. And besides this, I have more than 10 years experience in international business and trade. I have been to 22 countries in 5 continents. I have worked with people from more than 40 countries. In my daily work, I use 4 languages. Lastly, my family is also international. My wife, who's holding the camera, Anna, she's a Russian, and she's the student at the University of Amsterdam. She's one of the international student ambassadors, so that's why I use international to describe myself. The second keyword is entrepreneurial. During my 10 years work experience, I not only worked for different companies, but I also have this experience to set up my own business in Hong Kong and Brazil, and now I am planning to set up a company, my first company in Europe, and this is also related to this application, and I will tell you in the later pages. Last but not least, I choose grateful as the last keyword. This is very important because I actually am from a humble family background. I struggle a lot to get everything that I have today, and without being helped by the others, it's impossible for me to have such an experience. I always look up to successful business people, but those who really deserve my appreciation, not only those who make a lot of money, but those who can really make value to the world. For example, Jack Ma and Bill Gates are 2 of my idols because they share one thing in common. They are super successful in business, but later they focus on the dedication to charity. And I hope one day I can follow them to become such a person, maybe not as such as they are, but I hope I can do something to make a positive contribution to the world. So this is pretty much about me, and now I am going to present why I applied for the OTS. As many of you, I am facing a challenge because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I come to Europe in January. I'm planning to go back in March, but everything changed because of the coronavirus. I face in unprecedented crisis of visa, of accommodations, everything. But the word crisis in Chinese actually has very interesting meaning of danger and opportunities, and it really depends how you face this crisis. And luckily, thanks to my previous experience and connections, I'm able to turn this crisis to a very good chance because I have an access to more than 100 top Brazilian company, including Ambev, Amazon, and Petrobras, because they during this pandemic they asked me to help to use my um, professional experience to help them to buy PPE from China, and I work a lot to do so. And then because of this, I gain very precious connections and resources to know those clients and also very good suppliers in China. And so I had this bold idea to set up a company together with my wife. I said to her, okay, now the job market is gloomy and we are stuck at home. Why not we try to do something to use our expertise, to leverage our expertise to try to make something, and probably we can do something interesting. So, and this is my plan how to do with the OTS. If I get this scholarship, I would like to divide it into three parts. The first part is that I would use some money to set up a company to pay the registration, and second is that I would plan to I would plan another part to make donation. It's not a simple mandatory donation. I would like to use this money to buy those good quality in China PPE and then import them to the Netherlands and to Europe by my company, and then I will make a donation to the healthcare professional or to the hospital or other organizations. This is non-for-profit, but I hope that this action can bring good view and good reputation so that it can sustain the further development of our company. And the last part, I will invest to pay the tuition fee in my study, in my MBA study at Amsterdam Business School. Well, actually, I come here not to start the business. I come here to for education. And during this pandemic working experience, I realized that actually I still have a lot to learn. For example, if I want to have further development in my career, I need to learn more about taxation, about finance, about business administration, and these are something that I expect to learn from the MBA program. I'm just putting this academic study together with business practice, and I hope this can give me a better result in my education. Uh, Education is a very, very important investment in my family, and me and my wife both have long-term plans to invest in our own education. My wife would like to pursue her PhD after she graduated, and I would finish my MBA, and then I would work for a few years, and if possible, I will do my EMBA in Europe or in China, and after that, I may continue to work or I will focus on my own business. And I hope one day, if lucky enough, I will be able to follow my idols to dedicate myself in charity. In this sense, I can live up to the meaning of my name to help people and bring positive contribution to the world. So to make a conclusion, these are my motivation for the OTS. First is to try to get this precious funding from the Netherlands and use it to use it back to bring positive impact to the Netherlands. Second, as an MBA business student, I hope to practice social entrepreneurship and by taking actions, not just taking classes. And the third one is to invest in education in order to have sustainable development and contribution. So this is my presentation for the Orange Tulips Scholarship. I know that maybe I'm not the best candidate because this is highly competitive, but I hope to use this presentation to show my good intention to make some help in this pandemic, and also to show that I am not only talking, but I'm already taking actions. So I hope you can consider me as a qualified candidate. So thank you very much. 谢谢, spasiba, and thank you well. Bye bye.